Hello. So I'm back. I'm going to turn this into a journal, and I've got to be honest with you, it's not something I've done before. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work out. I've turned passport holders and things like that, but I've never actually cut up a purse like this as far as I can remember. Maybe I have. Maybe I did a bag. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm just literally going to have at this and cut down the middle here. And we're going to just, I have no real idea what we're going to do and how this is going to work exactly as yet. But I'm sure we're going to figure it out as we go along. So I'm going to turn it this way. I don't think it's a good idea to unpick the stitching because that's going to take the whole purse apart. So I'm just literally going to cut this as close as I can to that stitching. Okay, I think there are things we can do to make that neater and make this inside a bit more interesting later. I don't actually want to remove this. We'll see, we might do something with it. So my idea is the journal is going to go like this, and then there'll be a pocket here, there's a pocket here, one here and one here. So, and we're going to literally stitch our journal into that. It kind of looks, it kind of looks Christmassy. It's just, you know, I have given this an anti-back wipe. It's been cleaned. So, and then also there's going to be this little zip pocket at the back. So I think this is really cool. It's going to be cool. Right, papers. I have some tea-dyed paper here. So I'm just going to grab one sheet because we want to make sure it's going to fit. So I'm going to put that in there. Actually, I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to make sure there's enough of a gap. So I've got a little gap here, and I'm going to fold it and see how that's going to be a bit small, I think. Yeah, that's too small. Not a problem, just going to fold it the other way. I think if we fold it from there, that's going to be okay. And we can always trim. Which we'll probably have to do anyway, to be perfectly honest with you. We'll probably have to trim the whole lot down. So what I'm going to do to get all of my pages the same is I'm just going to line them up. My aim is to make sure there are 25 sides to write on. I know December doesn't end on the 25th of December. But I'm thinking if there are 25 sides to write on, that if we've got space, we'll add more. If we haven't got space, we won't. It's as simple as that. Okay, so let's have a look. This is what I've got. Now, some of the pages are shorter than others, but that's okay because I'm thinking we're going to have to trim them all down to this front one that we started off with. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 32 sides. That's plenty, 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 plenty. Now, what I'm going to do is grab my cutting board. I'm going to get my ruler and my, actually, I'm going to use my rotary cutter. Going to get those really tight, fold those really tight, and then line my ruler up with my outside edge because I know that's the edge that's going to fit neatly into my cover. And stand up, use my rotary cutter, and there we go. A few little odd strands, and we now have some reasonable size scraps. Let me just pop this back onto the floor. I think that's okay. I might have to trim that a little bit more. I'm just going to grab my little board. I'm just going to take a sliver off here. It's just a little bit too wide. that's much better. That's much better. And the snap still does up, and I think we've got a little bit of room in there to play with, although yeah, that should be okay. So what I'm going to do is, got my cover, I might actually make this like a traveller's notebook style, so next year I can just make Mother a refill. I'm going to line this up on my board, so I'm just lining it up along here, and then I can use these lines to cut that. Easy, job's a good one. We've now got our papers, nice and simple. So what I want to do is I want to colour these now. But what I do want to do is, because we have cut them, we need to keep them in the right order. So you kind of have to work methodically if you cut the papers first. I have some greaseproof paper cut at the ready. These are just basically tins that I like to use to mix some colour. And again, I'm just going to grab some watercolours. These are a lovely new set of tube watercolours, because mine, my old ones, kind of bit the dust really. That's crimson. I'm going to go for that, maybe that blue, and let's go for those. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to take the spray bottle and give these a good spray. Right, so I'm going to put that aside. Put that aside. Okay, whoops. I'm just going to put some purple down. Use the roller. You could use a jelly plate for this. You don't have to use the glass board. I just don't want it to be perfectly even. I'm just going to give that a spray. And just pick up whatever paint. If you want it a little bit darker, just keep adding. And then put that aside. Lay my next sheet down. So I've got my papers. I'm going to go in with some mica spray next. And this is obviously the middle. This is the middle page. So this one was tarnished brass, and this one is antique bronze. So they're getting dry. You can sit them on top of obviously the greaseproof paper doesn't dry quite as well. You can sit them on top of a radiator or something like that. So that's going to be our outside page. I just love how that's turned out. So I must keep them in order. This one is a little bit more subtle. And obviously the drier it gets, the paler the watercolour gets, which is quite nice. This is awesome. Love that. So I'm just going to go through a little bit more to dry these a bit more, and then we'll come back and we'll put them together and see how they look. These are all dry now, and I'm just deciding actually what I want on the front, and I think I like that page. So I'm just going to refold these, put them into order. I'm not going to think about it too much. Just have a little, I really like that purple though. Put that there. And we kept them in order, so there should be no problem when these go back together. I love that middle page where we had several different colours left on the board. I'm just going to fold that way so we haven't got too much green together. They are, I think we've got our Christmas grunge on. They are going to be our Christmas grunge journal pages. Sorry, Mum, I'm not sure if you're into the old grunge kind of look, but I just think these are so pretty, even without any decoration whatsoever. So that is the pages done, and you know, I'm probably going to do maybe just elastic round here actually, so it's reusable and we can change out these covers next year. What I might do is find some paper that will go quite well and maybe put this as a cover so it becomes like a traveller's notebook style. Right, let's have a little go at this elastic, shall we? Let's see if we can do it. I'm going to use the ruler. Right. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to use the ruler, I think, for this. So I'm just going to push the ruler into that crease and open that out. Line the middle of that hole up with the crocodile. And do the same this side. Okay, that's gone in there nicely. So grab my elastic, which I have to hide, as you know, because of the cat. just going to take my lighter. I mean, obviously I need a cover on here, but that's going to slot into here. And with any luck, it will still close. It needs to have that cover to hold that elastic taut. So I actually don't think I have any Christmas paper, so I'm going to have to find something that will do. So I have, as you saw, I've taken the elastic out of here. I'm going to have to put a new piece in. I cut and inked this, and I have also found a piece that I'm quite happy with. I'm going to use the inside of this. And what I did was cut a piece of canvas that will fit, and I've inked that in the same way you just saw me ink that piece. So the first thing I'm going to do is, this might be a bit tricky and I'm really not sure how that's going to work, so we'll do that last. We'll do that last just in case. So what I'm going to do first of all is just grab my cardstock cover, and this is really thin and it's not really going to hold in place. If I put the elastic around this, it's just going to bend it. So we're going to strengthen this like I do with travelers notebooks. I'm just going to ink the edge of this. I don't want that too plain. Okay, now I was thinking of sewing on my piece first, my cover, and then attaching it to the cardstock. But if I do that, I may not get it completely level, and I don't want that to happen. So I am going to glue my piece onto the front. We're going to create that too. The first thing I'm going to do is turn my cover over, grab my, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because I know that's a good, strong, reliable glue. Then I'm going to take my masking tape and I'm going to put that down my crease. I'm going to trim this off neatly. Turn that over. I really wish I knew where my new bottle of Fabri-Tac was. I'm going to glue this whole cover. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to move over to my art glitter glue because my hand just cannot cope with squeezing that glue out. It's I think I've said in a recent video that I've added acetone to that a couple of times, and I just don't want to risk it again. So I do need a new Fabri-Tac, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. This is going to be sewn. So we've got a mix of glues there. It's going to be pretty well stuck, I think, with Fabri-Tac and art glitter glue. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it staying put. Now, I'm going to trim this and I'm going to leave a slight overhang. Right. This just isn't working on the glass, and I think I'm going to do this by eye. just trim around the edge here. Now I know along the sides I don't actually have a lot of room to play with because it's got to fit in my cover. I may have to cut this flush shortly, we will see. So I'm going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around here. That was nice and quick and very simple. Got a bit of fluff on it now, but that's all right. So I'm just going to fold that, and that is going to be our little insert. So let's have a look if that's going to be, can we, so far we can still just about do that snap up, this whole journal. Now I am going to glue this into place here. I'm going to have to rely on glue, which is a little bit scary, but what I think I'm going to do is maybe put a few hand stitches in, maybe, or something like that. I'd like to sew if I can, but I'm not sure I'm going to get through this. Let's glue it and see what we have. Glue is actually going to be pretty good. It's, you know, it feels like it's pretty well stuck on there, so I'm just going to leave it as being glued, I think. Now I do have a bit of a decision to make, because if I try to snap this closed, what it does is it does bend that fabric on the actual journal cover. So depending on how full it gets as I add things to this, it may just be that's not snapped shut, and we just maybe add a tie closure or something like that, maybe another piece of elastic to as a traveler's notebook closure. But I think it's coming along pretty well. Something on the front of this cover, and it's going to be the last thing we do today. And I'm going to use one of these gorgeous images. I actually want to go for her. I think I am going to go for her. She's my favourite. She's my favourite. If it was a blue journal, I would definitely go for her. I just really pleased with how the colouring ended up on this particular image. Okay, I think I'm going to do a fairly simple cover image and just double mount it onto fabric. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just going to sew. So I dyed some buttons, and I might pop in a very quick video of this, but I just want to add a couple of buttons on here as I have dyed them. I'm not sure, I think like so. Right. I think that is a pretty good start. And I'm quite happy with how this is coming along. Now, the last thing I'm going to do today, or on camera for sure, just grabbing my awl, and I'm just going to put a little hole through that scrim fabric like that. And then I'm going to put this through. I'm going to actually tie this around the book this time rather than just tie it before the book goes in, just to make sure that there is enough to keep this. Oh, that hole instantly closed. Instantly closed up. There we go. Okay. This is actually quite cool. What I might do though is use maybe a clip or a stitch, something to keep this in place. And I know this is going to be put together properly, but I'm just going to put this in for now and see how this goes. So that goes in there, and that will close like so, and that snap is definitely not going to shut. So we're definitely going to need an elasticated closure on here, but I think that's fine. And what's nice is that opens still, and we're still going to be able to put things in here, especially if we're using an elasticated closure. So that's the start of my mother's little traveller's notebook Christmas themed journal. I hope you like it. I hope you like the idea. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to just cut something up and have a go. Especially if you've picked it up secondhand and it wasn't a lot of pennies and you don't mind. If it does go wrong, I don't know. I quite like it. I might put something nice here or something. I don't know. Who knows? I will be back to show you where I take it from here. Whether I finish it or do something on film, I'm not quite sure yet, but I will be back. See you soon. Bye.